Hi Aries, how's it going? I hope you're doing awesome today. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I'm going to be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread for you. I've already cleared the energy of the cards and shuffled, and I pulled 10 cards and a clarifier. And I also pulled 2 oracle cards. You got guilt and freedom. They actually jumped out while I was shuffling. So I will go over those messages, your oracle cards at the end of the reading. Okay, let's just get started on your reading. If this reading gives you any guidance, if you could please let me know, I'd be very grateful. So your first card that came out is the Five of Pentacles reversed. When a card comes out reversed, it just means you're getting extra protection from Spirit. Okay, the Five of Pentacles is Taurus energy. So this card, Five of Pentacles reversed, you can see on the card here it says, I am supported and never alone, but maybe you don't feel like that because it came out reversed. The Five of Pentacles reversed is a card of recovering from some kind of loss, okay? Recovering from losses. It's a card of forgiveness. It could be recovering from financial loss. It could represent improvement in your finances and in luck. It could represent spiritual poverty. This card talks about becoming financially secure, making positive changes. It represents the end of hardship, being welcomed, feeling welcomed, letting go of relationships, making progress, paying off debts. Your health is improving. This card represents health improvement, treatment, becoming employed, being accepted, overcoming adversity, improving relationships. This card is telling you to get your house in order financially. Cut your losses any way you can to avoid further deterioration of your finances. If you're in debt, focus on getting it paid off as best as you can. Be very careful of any future investments, and do not take any risks at this time. Okay. This card says, recommends that you seek help and take advantage of opportunities to turn your situation around. And again, this is a general reading, so that'll mean something different for all of you, like if that resonates with you. Okay. Spirit is saying that your finances can be restored through hard work and getting back into balance. And then what's crossing you, or what's challenging you, or your situation, or what you're celebrating, is the Four of Swords. The message on this card says, take the time you need to rediscover your vitality. So the Four of Swords is a card of rest, recuperation. After the Three of Swords, it's Libra energy, needing solitude. You're receiving spiritual support when you receive the Four of Swords. For some of you, it's a card of withdrawal, being held in a suspended state. For some of you, it could represent hospitalization. So I'm sending you a very big hug if that resonates with you. It's a card of introspection, retreat, planning for the future, rebuilding your strength, having faith. It's a card of relief from anxieties, relaxation, meditation. It's telling you to meditate. You need peace and quiet at this time. It's a card of sanctuary, self-protection, rejuvenation, needing solitude. It's a card of fear, anxiety, stress, feeling overwhelmed. Okay. This card says you are in the first stage of recovery, either from emotional upheaval or physical illness. You're resting and taking time to think things through. You're planning your next moves wisely. You may want to retreat from other people and the world while you get your inner house in order. This is a card of respite. After the sorrow and misfortune of the Three of Swords, you're resting, you're recuperating, you're working on your problems quietly and with motivation. You may feel the need for introspection and solitude to contemplate and understand what happened and why it happened. Four of Swords is Libra energy, and again, you could be having an issue with a Libra. It doesn't have to mean that, or maybe you're celebrating a Libra, but again, it doesn't have to mean that. Maybe you're feeling alone, and this card could also represent forced rest, or rest is needed. Really, you need to stop worrying is the message with this card. I'm just going to write that down actually. Rest is needed. And then your foundation card is the Justice card. Speak your truth and fairness to yourself. That's Libra energy, Major Arcana card. This card represents the basis of your situation or foundation. It's a card of karma, justice, accountability, consequences, law, truth, fairness. It could represent legal disputes. The Justice card is all about honesty, integrity, balance, reflection, equality, taking the correct action. It's a card of responsibility, cause and effect, clarity. This card represents the importance of your choices. Whatever decisions you make now will have significant consequences in your future, so make sure you choose carefully. Rely on logic and reason to make the decision rather than emotion. And if you're experiencing good fortune, this card can be letting you know that your past actions made the good fortune possible. It could represent a legal situation that will be resolved in your favor. And this card is also a reminder to balance your physical concerns with your spiritual growth. You may be concerned with external circumstances, waiting for the right time to act. Maybe you're seeking justice in personal or business affairs. Maybe you're involved in a lawsuit. Spirit is saying it's important to resolve the situation in a way that is fair to everyone. You have to create balance, not only of power, but in terms of your emotional reactions to the situation. This is a time for moderation in all things, for creating harmony to facilitate relationships. Some of you may be called upon to arbitrate for others, or you may be subject to arbitration yourself, but your judgment is good at this time and you're not swayed by personal considerations or bias. Okay, so yeah, an actual legal matter is pending or being considered. You must weigh many factors to make a reasoned assessment or judgment. Seek guidance from your inner self. Okay, I'm going to make a note of that because I think that's a really important message. Seek guidance from your inner self. Don't rely solely on human advisors. Think mindfully before taking action. If other people are involved, consider their points of view as well, because issues of fairness are paramount now. Legal matters, if a part of the circumstances, should proceed smoothly, fairly, and in a dispassionate manner. And for some of you, a third party could come to your aid and help you get the fair outcome that you deserve. This card could represent anyone involved with the legal profession, a lawyer, a judge, witnesses, or maybe law enforcement officers. Okay. Justice may describe a matter in which some sort of rectification is necessary, where wrongs must be righted, in a spiritual or personal sense. Regardless of whether any laws have been broken, it's a card of karma, suggesting you are reaping what you have sown. This card may be advising you to become more balanced or fair-minded as well. Okay, and then your fourth card is the Five of Swords. It came out reversed. The message on the card is, I will heal myself. Okay. Maybe you don't feel that way because it came out reversed, but the Five of Swords reversed is Aquarius energy. It's a card of reconciliation. It's a card of resentment. Maybe you have a desire to forgive, a desire to reconcile. It's a card of resolution, regret, remorse, past resentments. Shame, being held accountable, overcoming challenges, surrendering to challenges. It could represent a peaceful resolution, moving on, compromising, communicating, risking everything, being relentless. The Five of Swords say that the Five of Swords says that your losses have hit you hard and you may be in a state of great unhappiness. You may feel hurt, betrayed, angry, and discouraged, but only you can pull yourself out of your misery. Maybe you feel confused about why the crisis occurred, but deep down you know the reasons. You just might not want to face them. This card could also suggest an empty victory that was not worth the energy and consequences. Making amends, past resentments, peaceful resolution, moving on, compromising, not heeding warnings. But it's letting you know that if you're experiencing strained times, they're ending soon, okay? And then your immediate future card is the Four of Wands. The universe brings all you need to feel blissful, or will be very, very soon. This is your immediate future card. So this is you, Aries, showing up in your reading. The Four of Wands. This card is all about relaxation, community or family coming together. It's a card of fulfillment, relaxation, joy, harmony. Maybe you have something to celebrate. Again, it's a card, the Spirit is mentioning feeling welcomed again. Coming home, a homecoming. It's prosperity, it's reward, blessings, happiness, surprises, reunions. You're celebrating something. It's a card of belonging, stability, um, shared happiness. So your immediate future, what's likely to happen very soon in your card or in your life, the Four of Wands is an extremely positive card. Your efforts to establish a project, business, or other endeavor are successful. Your position is secure and comfortable. You can now relax and enjoy your life. It's a time of respite and rejoicing. You're enjoying pleasure, prosperity, reaping the rewards you've earned. Your finances are in good shape or will be very, very soon. You're in harmony with your environment and the people in it. You've shown the world who you truly are and what you can achieve. It's time to celebrate. This card represents good times, okay? Whatever you've been working on is showing signs of success. So take a moment to revel in it. Maybe you're going to build a new house, expand your business, get married. Maybe you're investing in something. The Four of Wands, yeah, could represent a collaboration, a restful break, or maybe even some of you are going on a vacation. This card was all when I was shuffling and meditating on your reading, Aries. This card was very, very strong for me. I knew this was going to come out in your reading, the Sun card. Be optimistic and appreciate everything you have in your life. The Sun, if you haven't been feeling well, the Sun represents good health. It represents truth, happiness, optimism, joy again, freedom. Okay, and remember you got freedom in your oracle card, but I'll get to that. It's good luck, it's having clarity, it's ambition, it's good health, courage, confidence. It could represent pregnancy, positivity. It's a card of celebration again, enlightenment, enthusiasm, ambition. It's a very, very, very one of the most positive cards in the deck. Okay, vitality, confidence, success, good times. Your past work is now bearing fruit. This card could represent having a baby or the birth of a creative project. The outcome is a happy one. Good things are going to come into your life. Success, achievement, good health, good fortune, happiness. So you got the Sun card, two very, very, very positive cards in your reading. The Sun brightens any negative cards in the spread. Its influence is always beneficial. It suggests prosperity, enthusiasm, honors, public recognition, achieving your goals. You're happy to be alive because you feel it's the dawning of a new efforts, the dawning of a new day. You're cheerful, self-confident, full of life and energy, ready to undertake new projects with enthusiasm. Maybe you're starting more than one project or upgrading something in your life. Maybe you're taking a more satisfying job or remodeling your home. Maybe you're moving to a sunnier climate. Okay, your mind is clear and sharp. This card brings a simple message of joy. After traveling through the long, dark night of soul searching, you emerge into the light. All your journeys, all your spiritual seeking, all your sincere efforts now pay off. You're able to see where you were and where you now stand. Okay, This card brings great joy, clear truth, and well-deserved success and health, good health. Then your self-image card, how you see yourself. Trust the present moment. You have the Nine of Swords. Trust the present moment. Trust where you are right now. This card is talking about fear again, and anxiety and worry and negativity, despair, nightmares, feeling hopelessness. It's a card of guilt, your other oracle card. So, but I'll get to those in a second. Let me turn that to show you those. Can't really see it here. But I'm going to go through these in a second, okay? Despair, you're focusing on the past. You feel guilt, regret, remorse, nightmares, anxiety, hopelessness, trauma, isolation. You may be making mountains out of molehills, deep unhappiness, mental anguish, doubt, burdens, isolation. The Nine of Swords, yeah. It can represent extreme anxiety, nightmares, tension, unhappiness, and regrets over past mistakes or misfortunes. You're in an unhappy, intense state of mind, whether or not the facts bear out the fear. The suffering associated with this card may be mostly in your mind. You may be having bad dreams or horrible fantasies. Deep-rooted or repressed issues are trying to surface so you can resolve them. It will likely be very challenging to change your attitudes and beliefs, but it's worth the effort and unpleasantness. 9 is the number of completion, and this card indicates that the changes you're being required to make forecast a better future, okay? And you might be, you know, because you have insomnia, you're not sleeping well, it's just making you feel even worse, is what the Nine of Swords can, that's why it's just adding to the anxiety, okay? Distress, mental distress or mental illness, nightmares, fear, anxiety, and it's due to overthinking and worrying, which leads to feeling oppressed. So that'll make you sick. Be careful of that, okay? Doubt, the inability to cope with life or face life, have burden. But remember, Aries, like, just, you know, that's life, right? If you're struggling right now, you know, it's not gonna, this too shall pass. Always remember that, okay? Always, always remember. You know, sometimes in life we go through really, really, really hard times, but it's not going to be forever. So just know that. Your environment card is the Six of Cups reversed. Remember and treasure past happiness. This card says again, they're talking about living in the past or stuck in the past. It's a card of forgiveness for yourself or others. Maybe you have to forgive yourself, or maybe you have to forgive someone else. It's a card of moving forward, leaving home, independence, stagnation. Maybe you're resolving childhood issues. It could represent childhood abuse, stolen innocence, boredom, completing therapy, completing counseling. Spirit is saying let go of the past, focus on the future. It's a card about maturity and growing up. It talks about rose-tinted view of the past. Maybe you're wrapped up in nostalgia and cannot move ahead or feel satisfied because nothing will ever be as good as what you remember. Or it can indicate that you don't remember your past fondly and you don't want anything from your past to visit your present life. Okay, remember and treasure past happiness. This card reversed suggests changes in the immediate environment that will make you feel more secure. It may involve meeting new friends or making new associations, but Spirit wants you to know that you are developing new emotional tools that will aid you in your future. That's why you're going through this. That's why Spirit is saying, trust the present moment. And an important event is coming soon. You're learning, you're growing, you're going through this because of a reason. Loss of innocence, or a loss of childhood, loss of a childhood friend, letting go of opportunities, cutting binding cords that are holding you back, is what the Six of Cups reversed represents. Then your hopes and fears is the Five of Wands reversed, what you hope for and or fear the most in your situation. Leo energy, you're avoiding conflict. You're respecting each other's differences. This card represents the end of conflict or cooperation. Agreements, truces, harmony, peace, release, trickery, litigation, disputes, inner conflict, avoidance, tension. What you hope for and fear the most in your situation. This card says that this is a fight that you shouldn't get involved in. A competition that is less than honorable, or one that turns ugly. You must change and adapt to different and difficult circumstances. There may be new competition that the new competition may be cutthroat, dishonest, or underhanded. There could be litigation to resolve disputes, and your public image may suffer. Don't get involved in questionable or risky practices at this time. And also be careful whom you trust. Okay. Feeling depleted. It's a harmony of truces, agreements, litigation, disputes. Five of Wands reversed. Stand your ground and look for peace is the message with this card. It could also represent backstabbing in legal disputes. They're repeating that message. I would definitely make a note of that. And then your future, if all is to remain as is, you have the King of Pentacles reversed. You are, be sure of your place in the world. And the Hierophant reversed. You're ready to love and learn. So the King of Pentacles can be male or female in a general reading. It's either you or someone in your life, someone in your future maybe, you in your future, or he can represent a situation. Taurus energy. The King of Pentacles is someone who is corrupt, chauvinistic, materialistic. He represents poor financial decisions, greed, indulgence, someone who's disloyal, unfaithful, unsupportive, someone who's financially inept. An ungrounded male or female in a general reading, an unsuccessful businessman, corruption, instability, poor judgment. He could be a gambler, uncaring, cold, ruthless. He could represent bankruptcy, someone who is underqualified, greedy, broke, unsupportive. So the King of Pentacles reversed is a negative symbol representing danger or an unwise business move. Be careful of the small print in any contracts being negotiated. And again, this king can indicate unfair competition, shady business practices, or an untrustworthy man. He could be stingy to the point of cheating someone. He can be erratic, demanding, callous. He may resist change and make it difficult for those around him to try new things. And then the clarifier on top of that is the Hierophant. Taurus energy again. The Hierophant represents challenging the status quo, having a new approach. It's a card of freedom again. So that's that'll be the third time that Spirit is talking about freedom, non-conformity, unconventional relationships, challenging tradition, unconventional lifestyles, being rebellious, subversiveness, non-conformity, ignorance, personal beliefs. You may wish to overthrow an old tradition that you feel is suffocating you, or that simply no longer serves your needs. You can choose to live by whatever philosophy resonates with your true nature. You want to direct your actions your own way, even if this puts you in conflict with some established tradition or one that you were raised to believe. Maybe your faith is being challenged in some way and you must reevaluate beliefs you've always taken for granted. The Hierophant reversed represents or suggests stubborn bullheadedness, especially in areas of beliefs and their application in day-to-day life. You may be in a rut, unable to see new things or find useful ways to apply your beliefs in the real world. Maybe consider giving up some routines and trying something new, Spirit is saying. Okay, and then your first oracle card is freedom. You possess the power and the free will to create your own happiness. Your soul is open to receiving new wisdom and insights that will allow it to make the right choices for its own growth. Remember, you were never a victim of other people or their circumstances. You have complete control over your own choices. By following your heart and being authentic to yourself, you present the real you to the world. And they've already talked about that. You showed the world who you truly are. Making decisions based on other people's expectations is not the true path to happiness. You're responsible for creating your own reality. When a soul shifts to a place of honoring itself in its totality, free from judgment, only then will it find its true freedom. Every soul is unique and follows its own path. Don't give in to peer pressure or the urge to fit in. You are the only one who truly knows the real you, so feel free to march to the beat of your own drummer. Okay, and then your last message in your oracle reading is guilt. Okay, release any beliefs that no longer assist your soul's growth. The energy of fear has many guises to complicate your path to loving yourself. And guilt is the most devious because it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's a self-imposed emotion that pretends to be instructive and enlightening. Guilt can help us grow when we realize that our actions have been hurtful to others and that we need to make amends. After we do so, though, it's time to learn from the behavior and move on. The problem arises when we hold on to a guilty feeling that serves no purpose other than promoting self-destructiveness and low self-esteem. Remember, Aries, no one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Guilt is not always rational, But if you examine it subjectively and act on it and release it, it becomes a temporary emotion. Long-held guilty feelings are never good and will create a roadblock to self-love and happiness. You must continually scan your current emotions for any guilty feelings and bring them to the surface for analysts. Healthy guilt is a warning that action should be taken. Irrational guilt needs to be released. There was another thing that, oh yeah, learn from the behavior and move on. Spirit already talked about that. So that is your reading, Aries. Thank you for allowing me to channel these messages today from Spirit. I'm really grateful. If this reading resonated with you, let me know. I'd like to hear from you. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you next time. If you would like your own personal reading, all the information is in the About section, community section. And yeah, just shoot me an email. I usually record my messages and then send you the recording. And that is it. Thank you so much. Take care, Aries. Bye.